Commission meeting for Franklin Conservation Commission meeting for August 22nd, 2024. Before I forget again, let me take a roll call.
Louis Puga. Mark LePage.
Jeff.
Roger Trahan.
Nicole Sharmonti.
And is there anybody online?
Richard.
Richard? Yes?
You're muted, Richard.
Muted.
He's getting it.
All right, I'm here.
All right.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we can open up the first public meeting, the NOI for 15 Liberty Way. I hear that there is a peer review that was provided and the applicant is still reviewing, correct?
Yes, they are working on updated plans. They had anticipated having that prior to this meeting, but then vacations happened. So
Okay.
they requested a continuance, and I suggested, I typically don't do this, as I do not want the responsibility of telling an applicant not to come.
Right,
But considering the quorum issues
Yes.
and that Commissioner Ryan is not here, I suggested that they not show up and provide
Right.
an update.
Correct.
And then they would just come on September 5th.
correct. That's a
Smart.
good idea, that's a smart idea, okay. So there's nobody here?
Correct.
Okay. I still have to ask, is there anyone online or in the audience that has a comment or question about 15 Liberty Way? Okay, there being none, I'll take a motion to continue.
Give you a motion to continue the NOI for 15 Liberty Way.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, vote.
Yep. Vote to continue?
Vote to continue.
Vote to continue?
Vote to continue.
Vote to continue.
Continue.
Richard?
No, he
I can't vote.
He's got to
Oh, sorry.
abstain.
You're staying, okay, so thank you. Okay, so I have no gavel, but. Okay, so the 15 Liberty Way is continued. The next meeting I would like to open up is the NOI for 5 John Edwards Circle. Is there anyone here from John Edwards Circle?
Yes, Kyle, the attorney is online, but I can provide just a quick update. Ultimately, I would recommend the commission approve this with no conditions to be had.
Okay.
We did get a DEP number yesterday afternoon. I did include the DEP comment in your agent report, and then you also have the issuance of the number in your Google Drive. I will
Right.
note that most of this comment has been mitigated already. We already have the previous COCs, we have a butter notification, we have landowner signature, and the applicant has removed the 200-foot riverfront area,
Okay,
which is honestly better for them.
right.
So I have an updated narrative already from Kyle, and I would recommend that the commission vote to approve
Okay.
with no conditions, and then Kyle submit a COC request by next Thursday to close this out.
Okay, great. And Kyle's online?
He is.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, and you're okay? You're good with this? Everything's good? Yes? You have no?
Yes, that's great.
Okay,
That would be terrific.
okay. Does anyone in the commission have any questions? No. Does anyone in the audience or online have any questions about or comments about 5 John Edwards Circle? Okay, there being none, I'll take a motion to approve with no conditions.
I'll give you a motion to approve the NOI for 5 Edwards Circle
With no conditions.
with no conditions.
Second.
Second, okay. Good.
Approve.
Vote to approve.
Vote to approve.
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 Richard?
Can't vote.
Can't vote.
Can't vote.
Abstain. Okay, thank you. All right, that's it. That's all.
I know.
That's amazing. Wow, okay. Okay. Happy hour here.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle. All right. Now we are dropped down to requests, RDAs, or requests for determination applicabilities. We have one here, 112 Poppy Lake Street. This is a deck installation, right?
Hello.
Thank you.
How are you?
Bill Halson, Ranch.
Great.
I don't think I've ever been here alone in the audience before.
Okay.
You're the main attraction tonight.
And
and realize you're in like the brand new room, right?
I know, it smells so good, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's nice, but the color,
Not into it?
I'm just not into this more blue.
What was it before, yellowish?
Yeah, it was warm. It was cold. It looks like it's cold. Well, I mean, and these are fluorescent lights, so the cat's blue. So everything's like really blue. It's like, I'm blue. I come to council chambers and I'm sad because it's blue.
But would wear better pink. Supposed to
Yeah.
calm me down, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, keep people from killing all the people, like, killing all the people, I guess, probably, I guess that's what it's supposed to be. Okay. That makes sense. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no problem. I'm ready now.
Go ahead. Digressing.
112 Populatic Street. The owner would like to put on a deck which is going to sit on piers with a
Okay.
roof over part of it. All the work is outside of the 50-foot buffer, all previously disturbed. This house was built probably 10, 15 years ago. We did the original engineering on it way
Okay.
back when.
Okay. Now, there's nothing there right now, correct? I mean, there's, yes?
Yeah, it's kind of grassy area. There's a small retaining wall kind of at the edge of where the deck is going to
But you're
go.
not replacing the structure, you're actually building a new
Correct.
new structure. Yes.
Correct. Yeah, it's currently just yard.
Right, got it.
I'm proposing straw wattles to contain any silt that may happen. We anticipate very little, we're just on piers anyway.
Okay, all right. We typically do mulch socks only because the straw wattles, that we kind of are not really cool with the straw, because the straw just never goes away. So we typically, unless you want to comment, but typically we recommend the tube socks, the mulch tube socks.
Yeah, and typically, you're right, we do that in Franklin and a lot of
Yeah.
other towns.
Yeah.
I was kind of looking at this really simple here, and it's a lot easier just put in the wattles, but whatever the commission should like is what we will do.
The problem is that people will say that they're going to remove them, and they never do, and then they're there forever. I mean, years later, they come, it's like, yeah, we were kind of going into the bush to grab a football that got there, and the kids were in, it's like, oh yeah, here it is, it's so here, that kind of thing. So, I mean, it would be our preference,
Sure.
if it wouldn't be a big deal.
Absolutely, we can do that.
If you don't mind. Does anybody else have any comments about that?
No, it looks pretty straightforward.
Yeah, other than that, yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So, yes, you?
I have a few comments. For the record, what are the square foot of the footings? I'm assuming 1 square foot per footing. That's,
sound about
right. Yeah, We do that's-
piers,
okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
They gotta dig it out a little bigger so you get an foot.
Nah.
No, yeah, they're like 8 inch.
What are you backfilling with?
The material that's already there.
Perfect, okay. And then DEP actually did have a comment, which is abnormal for RDAs, but they did want me to convey information to you that BLSF is present at the site at 137 feet. They note that it doesn't look like work is within the EC line, and I agree, but it wasn't noted on the plan, so DEP just wanted the property owners to know for future projects that any large-scale projects would need compensatory mitigation. Storage anyways,
Oh, I see, okay.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
But
But nothing
1
like
square
this.
foot, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
not
not.
like this. If they're gonna build a house or something.
Yeah,
then
it's
okay.
big excavation projects that's going to change the
Alright.
grade,
I
so.
see.
So just for the record, sharing that information, and then thank you for confirming the footings.
Yeah.
Typically, or I'm happy to note that we're not backfilling with anything for commissioners and new commissioners. Typically, we like to see stockpiling of any construction material outside of the 100-foot buffer zone. Populatic Street has been a big issue with that because you have wetlands on one side and then you have the pond on the other. So we've run in with different properties having issue with trying to stockpile outside of the 100-foot. So thankfully, this property does have a small portion of it, and their driveway is flat. It's probably one of the flattest driveways on Populatic, but it would be their only access in and out. So
Okay.
it's not 2-car. It's one driveway, one lane
Okay.
driveway. So.
Yeah, I know some of those places, especially by the lake, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
There's no place to go.
Yeah, no place to
Yeah.
put stuff.
No place to go. Exactly. We're running this to communicate in the past. Okay. negative determination then, I guess, right? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. I will take that.
All right, I'll give you a motion for a negative determination on the request for determination of applicability for 112 Populatic Street.
Second?
Second.
Approved.
Yeah, vote to approve the negative determination.
Approve.
Approve.
And Richard?
Well, no vote.
No vote? Okay,
No vote.
okay.
Bill, thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much again.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for all that simplification.
Thank you, thank you. And now we have a certificate of compliance with 39 Miller Street. Seems pretty straightforward, yes?
Yes, I believe the homeowner, or soon-to-be not homeowner, is online, but this is same story, different week of a historic COC
Right,
Oh, yeah.
purchase and sale, so
okay.
no violations on site, would recommend approval of the COC.
Okay, does 39 Miller Street want to say anything? You don't have to.
No, hi guys. Again, this is a 7-year-old project. Didn't know I had to close it out,
Right,
but I appreciate all the help you guys did back 7 years ago and today. So thank you.
no, it happens all the time, honestly, just all the time. At least once a month, we have a historic something, someone missed. Okay, sounds pretty easy. We recommend approved COC then, a motion.
Yeah, I'll give you a motion to approve the certificate of compliance for 39 Miller Street.
Second.
Vote to approve.
Approved.
Approve.
Approve.
Richard, no vote? No vote.
Abstain.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, and then.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. We have the minutes for August 8th. I read them, I did not see any comments.
Oh, we have enforcement orders too.
Oh, wait.
Did I not, I probably didn't add them to my
Yeah, we
agent
can't forget,
report.
305 Union Street.
Apologies.
Richard would be disappointed.
Okay, 305, oh,
Yes.
sorry. They're on this one.
They're on the official
Oh, sorry,
agenda.
Yeah.
I was in a rush today, I
That's fine,
apologize.
Okay, violations enforcement, 305 Union Street. What's up with 305 Union Street?
Just a brief update now that it's gone through town council. The property has officially been rezoned
Okay,
for mixed use, which allows for more redevelopment opportunities at the site, and allows for a diverse cohort of developers to come and purchase the site, since it is listed for sale.
okay,
So what that means in relation to our enforcement order is that we have a higher chance of somebody coming in, buying the property as is, and
Cleaning it up.
Exactly.
okay.
Good news.
But that doesn't change the enforcement order
Correct.
itself, correct?
Keep the enforcement order.
Yeah, okay, so nothing changes.
Yes, another 30 days.
Okay, so basically we're extending it for another 30 days? because-
Correct.
Okay, so we're voting to extend the.
Yep.
Okay, I see, okay. All right, unless anyone has additional comments, I'll take a vote to extend the.
All right, give you a motion to extend the enforcement order on 305 Union Street for another 30 days.
Second.
Okay,
Extend. Vote to extend.
extend,
Extend.
Extend.
Roger, not voting,
Richard.
yes?
Richard.
Sorry, Richard,
Sorry.
sorry, I'm going too fast. Richard, not voting, okay.
Abstain.
Okay, and now we have the violation enforcement for 00 Prospect Street.
Ah.
I am waiting on a letter.
I knew that was coming. Yes, and that's me, okay. So no action.
I would recommend, I mean, it's up to you, if you would like to keep it active,
Extend it.
extend it again,
Yeah,
but I need that letter.
okay.
Yes. Yeah,
So-
she's been asking for it forever, for a month, and I haven't given it to her, so my mistake. Okay, well, because it is my mistake, and I feel bad, we will vote to extend.
All right, I'll give you a motion to extend the enforcement order on 00 Prospect Street another 30 days.
Second.
Okay,
Vote to extend.
extend,
Extend.
Extend.
and Richard is not voting. Okay,
Abstain.
all right, now the minutes
Yes.
for August 8th, 2024. I did not have any changes. Did you have any changes?
All good.
Oh, good.
No changes? Richard, did you read it? Did you look at it?
Of course I did.
Okay. All right, so.
No problem.
All right, so
I
then.
can't vote anyway.
Okay. So then I will extend, I will take a motion to approve the minutes for August 8th, 2020.
All right, motion to approve the minutes from August 8th, 2024.
Second.
Vote to approve.
Approve?
Approve.
Approve?
Richard is not voting, okay. So that's it for all the regular business. Now we have discussion items. All right, Friends of Franklin liaison update, anything?
I believe so. There was an event held last Saturday, August 17th. Unfortunately, I don't have an update on how it went, but I would ask Nicole.
Nicole?
It went well. I didn't really have a turnout that
No.
was we anticipated, but we did get a lot done. Michael showed up, and then my family, and somebody else had showed up, and we got a lot of it done. But
Where
there's
was the
still-
event? What are you guys doing?
At Delhart,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
removing the mugwort.
That's right,
So-
yeah.
But there are a lot of people taking final vacations before school.
Yes,
right
I think
now.
that's what it
I mean-
really, I believe that.
So I told her so nobody's showing up.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
That'll
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Kayla's gonna have another event in a couple of weeks, I guess. She was gonna talk to
okay.
Rico and I about it, and hopefully that will be better. But a lot of it is coming now. We did come across some poison ivy, but.
Hopefully you didn't.
Did you get
come
it?
across poison ivy.
Yeah, we're very careful.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. Master plan liaison update?
I haven't received any updates from Megan since the first update. However, I do know internally that we are getting the action plan, or what's similar to the action plan, we being staff, in September.
Okay.
So I'll be getting a list of action items. All staff are set to review it by September 27th, I believe. And then master plan will continue from there.
Will there be any more reviews or anything coming up? No.
No, not until town council, or planning board and then council.
Right.
And then this isn't necessarily the master plan, but it is part of master planning. I've been working with Beta, different division than our wetland group, on master planning Schmitz Farm and Maple Hill. So we're moving forward with that, which is very exciting.
I noticed they put some signs up at
Yes,
Schmitz Farm, huh?
just a couple,
Yeah.
yeah.
Were people going out there, I imagine?
No, but it is open to the public, so especially for the barn, we needed to put no trespassing signs
Yeah.
for liability purposes,
Oh, yeah.
and then no hunting and no motorized vehicles.
Oh, okay.
And then they did make a small parking lot,
Yeah,
but
you don't
I,
want the kids partying in the barn. That's a bad thing.
but I did request Brutus not to go too gung-ho on the signs, considering we're planning it.
Yeah.
So, no need to waste the resource hours on fully designing interpretive signs at this point.
Yep.
So,
All right, cool.
There really is no update to Matt, basically. All I know is that we had a meeting yesterday morning. The near final of the meeting, of the annual meeting. Everything's done, everything's set. With one exception, which is kind of surprising. We have no keynote speaker.
really,
Yes.
how'd that happen?
I don't know. The other thing that happened this morning is the entire MAC website went down,
I saw,
including all of the email. So there's no email, MAC has no email. Now, do you know why that is?
did somebody forget to pay?
Yes. They forgot to pay the hosting server
Oh, no.
to continue to reserve the mac.org name. So right now, the mac.org name is up for grabs by anyone who would basically want to take it and then hold it hostage.
Yeah.
Which is what, as you might recall, that's what people used to do a long time ago.
Yeah.
In the early days of the web, right?
Right.
Right, they get like mac.org, mac.com, and they just, right, okay? So right now, basically the organization is in that, because they're trying to find someone to, because they have a webmaster quit about 6 months ago. And so, yeah, and it's right before the meeting, and they were just about to post final push for come to the meeting on the website. So that's a problem. So now everyone's using their personal email to try to get business stuff back. It's really pretty crazy. Okay, anyway, I'm just saying.
So I have a question on that,
Yeah.
is, if we want to go and we want to register, do we do it through the town or should we just do it on our own?
Do it through me. MAC prefers it to be one roster per town. I need one sheet. And it's more difficult for me to expense it if you do it personally.
Right.
You have to go through me, I'm
So
sorry,
just send
Roger.
you an email?
Yes,
Okay,
so
okay.
once that push comes, because registration's not open yet,
Right.
you're gonna get the email, as you all do. I'm gonna re-forward the email to you just to make sure you see it. Sorry, I have to be the squeaky wheel, and I will say, you need to let me know by this date,
Okay.
so.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And I hope everyone will come. It's a really good meeting with my MACC hat on.
I think, like, I know you're all volunteers, but I think it's very helpful if it is a soft requirement to go to the conferences.
Well, I mean, it's good because you get to talk to other people
Yeah.
from the town, especially at the lunch. Lunch is like where all the networking is. And the exhibits, which are actually really nice. Also, everybody has to get t-shirts because the t-shirts are really, really nice. Kind of cheap. I'm just saying. So, but it's worth it, especially if you actually haven't gotten certified.
Yeah.
You know, you can basically sign up for up to 4 classes. It's a way to take a big chunk out of the classes required for certification, by the way. I'm just saying, that's really, really good.
What are the dates again?
October 19th.
Yes.
I mean, you should come anyways to support
You should.
your fellow commissioners.
You should. And I'm gonna look bad if basically nobody shows up to Frankfurt. Did you tell them? You didn't tell them.
You can just say it was on the web, but we had the wrong day.
Yeah, no one could see them. So
We didn't know about it, so.
CRWA update. Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else? No?
Oh, I did have one other thing, sorry. It's really quick. I need to get more information on when this is due, but Jamie has asked Planning Board and Conservation to write a letter, or at least more so Conservation than Planning Board.
Another letter.
Yeah, you can delegate. For the Maple Hill property,
Oh.
they're more so relating around, okay, so there's a current project in front of Planning Board right now at the terminus of Kimberly Ave, and the applicant has laid out on the table essentially a cart path from, they want to build 2 houses, a cart path from those 2 houses to Maple Hill, so you'd have a connection from Kimberly. But Jamie is more inquiring of the commission what you would like to see because it's a conservation area. So would you like to see an actual parking lot, paved, crushed stone? In my brain, I'm imagining something like at the SNET, but smaller.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
Would that be on Kimberly? Would that be on Bridle Pathway? Where would that be? So you have homework to go look at a map.
Well, I think it'd be good to go out and look at the site.
And there you go.
Yeah.
Don't access from Kimberly, go from Bridle Ave.
Right, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or Bridle Pathway, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Or
Now, is there like-
Hancock,
Is there
or,
like a deer path or some path that's actually already there right now?
no, it's a cul-de-sac. You park in the cul-de-sac
That's what
and you
it-
just,
okay.
it's
So
just a
there's no-
worn
there's-
pathway.
They wouldn't be blazing a trail where like livestock has already been using it or something like that?
No.
No, okay.
No, no, no. I can tell you that NEMBA, New England Mountain Biking Association, has already made trails in there, which is great stewardship, but a lot of those trails actually transect wetlands.
Sanctioned, I guess not sanctioned.
Not
trail.
sanctioned.
Based on
Oh,
that.
well, yeah, of course.
So they are a big stakeholder in the property, so any conversations also, they'll have to be involved, which I would want them to be involved, but I have told them the precautionary tale that those trails may not be in the same location that they are now,
Here's a question.
so.
Hiking, yes. Riding, yes. But mountain biking, is that considered passive use?
Yeah, it's not motorized,
Not motorized.
yes, but there is a big distinction from what I've learned from speaking to NEMBA. between obviously what trails are fun to ride on and which ones aren't. So there is a distinction. They like jumps, they like rutted up things, they like things, that make it fun, that make it engaging, that make it change the difficulty versus just a flat trail
Right, of
queen,
course.
right? So that version of trail is not compatible with passive recreation as far as walking.
Well, can I also say that, remember what happened with the SNET? When you had people going there not only with bikes, but also with, what is it? No, the winter stuff, the winter.
Snowmobile.
Thanks, snowmobile. could
Sleds.
Completely destroyed, just rip the crap out of that thing. So the towns have spent bazillions of dollars putting that back together. And if you get out of the entrance of the SNET where we are, you'll find that there are huge boulders right there at the entrance because of the snowmobile specifically. But it wasn't just that, it was the mountain bikes as well. It ripped the whole crap out of it. And it was rutted, and it was like this, and it was like you couldn't even miss it terribly. So it was like about a 5 or 7 year project of fine and fixing it. And it's nice now, it's really nice. So, people would be pretty upset to see those. So I'm just saying, understand that there's that history with SNET. So if we're sharing a property with people that are doing mountain biking and doing this kind of like, stumps and all that kind of stuff, you may run into that problem
Mhm.
if you have trails that cross each other,
Mhm.
walking and biking, I'm just saying.
Mhm. At the very least, it needs to be moved out of the wetlands, and there are vernal pools in there, so
Right, yes, yeah, that's true.
I, again, love advocacy and love stewardship, but we need to reassess where a lot of those trails are and where trail braiding is happening and make designated trails at that point.
Right.
That's coming in the parcel planning, so that's also a conversation we'll continue on. But as far as the parking lot and access, so I would suggest going back and just looking at that planning board proposal and then start ruminating on some ideas.
So they're looking to put a parking lot at the end of Kimberly.
Right now, there's nothing. So it's a proposal in front of planning board.
Right,
Right
right.
now, it's just a cart path. So Jamie is requesting the
Oh.
commission say, well, this is what we want. Is the cart path fine? Would you like something else? You're
Oh, okay, so they're looking to put a
dealing
cart-
with mitigation here.
Right. Currently, it's a cart path from Kimberly
That's
to
all it
over to
is.
the Maple Hill Trail, and we're, okay. good.
Yeah.
So are they talking about putting the parking lot on Kimberly or Rhino Pathway?
I don't know yet.
So can you,
It's still, and nothing is certain either. Jamie just wants
Yeah.
something to see what he can offer or not offer, or
are you
work with.
generally okay to park in that circle off of Bridle Path to get in there? Is that kind of the
It is
typical?
a public road. Anybody can park on there to access
Okay,
the conservation area.
that's interesting. All right, cool.
Wasn't there, if I wanted, anybody wanted to go in off of Bridle Path, wasn't that some kind of private property though, that we had to cross over?
That's Kimberly.
That's Kimberly?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes. And now even if you were to park on Kimberly, there's a fence at the end of
Yeah, I know.
at the end of
It's called a hate fence.
the cul-de-sac.
Is that a technical term?
It's been recently.
I'm tired, it's cold, I'm tired of telling people to get off the property.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Not that it matters, so is that private property of somebody that lives there, or just a parcel?
No, it's just a parcel.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
And it's a
It's the
difficult
builder,
parcel
right?
with
The
frontage.
builder owns it?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
builder owns it now,
Yeah.
yeah.
Huh.
So just something to think about. I'm still waiting. I can get more information from Jamie, but he did just bring it up at tech review on Wednesday, or yesterday. So I just wanted to put a bug in your ear.
So the builder is kind of offering access now through, okay, gotcha.
Mhm, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So take it, leave it, take some of it, modify it, say no. And then I think it would just be also a good exercise to look at some other access points. Then it's not prejudicial either.
And one last thing, you had mentioned about calling people before visits. Remember we were talking about that? You remember that?
Oh, yeah, that blew up today.
Really?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us the story, the interesting story of this, how that came to be?
Okay, so typically,
South Street.
no,
Oh.
but they did get another email. So we had, for a separate project that's ongoing, initiated inspections, do you recall? Right, I can't, right. So typically what you do with inspections, as I'm sure many of you can understand or have experience to, you don't necessarily announce when you're going to inspect. You don't do that because that gives somebody the opportunity to clean it, hide it, make it look better than what it is. You want an unbiased snapshot of what site conditions currently are. Beta conducted an inspection, and so did I, but Beta was confronted somewhat rudely for being on site and the applicant not being notified. I don't take too kindly to that. So the applicant actually reached out to Beta directly, circumvented my office to request that Beta let them know when they're going to be on site. So I jumped in, as I'm sure you all know that I would, and said, nope, questions need to come through my office. I was going to check with the chair so I can have, I have people behind me making sure that I'm speaking for you appropriately. Checked in with Chair Livingstone, did talk to Beta, and I did talk to the town engineer for Mike Maglio just to make sure we were all on the same page that no, we do not announce inspections. Applicants have to tell us when they need an inspection for milestones within the project, like dewatering or installing a culvert, when they need that regulatory oversight. We do not announce inspections. If the commissioners recall or see in any of the submissions that we get, we have a property access signature form that all applicants have to sign that notes any commissioner, their agent, or third party at any time during a given project can access the site. Also, because of my position in the town as a regulating body, it is nice for me to door knock on people's properties, but I don't have to. I can access a site. As long as it's wet, I can go in there. So, not that I like to wield that power, right? Because that's usually not met with friendliness when I say that. But it is, I'm providing that to you to let you know and give you reasoning or justification why we do not need to announce site visits.
So if someone comes and complains in open meeting, basically this is,
Yes.
and what I would, and so we spoke a little bit about this at the pre-meeting, and my point was basically there is a process. There's a process that we have been that has been established. We've been following it for a very long time, and that is a process. And I think it's important that people understand that there is a process, and it's nothing that is biased against them. I mean, I understand why people might want to be present if there were any questions or the agent had any questions, that's fine. And what I was saying to Brika at the pre-meeting was that I could understand people feeling that maybe they may not be given a chance, if there were issues that came up, to properly explain, and they would want to be there in person because they felt that would make more sense. And I understand that perspective, but the process is that findings and observations are written down and submitted, and then afterwards, the applicant is given a chance to come forward after they're formally put in the record to come forward and then answer or change or modify any of those things. So there is a chance to do that. It just doesn't happen at the same time.
Well, plus, wouldn't it be better for it to happen here?
Well,
If not all of it.
yeah, it depends, if you don't mind. It depends on what it is. So obviously, if it's emergency, if it's something that should be
Well,
addressed
yeah.
automatically,
Yeah,
right, then it's
Yes.
on site.
100%.
I've given John, it's a different John, so you have John Nero, and then you have Jonathan, who works for John. So Jonathan, I gave him leniency to address the site soup if there are things that he sees that needs to be addressed immediately, if it's housekeeping items included in the report. So they'll issue a construction monitoring report and an inspection report. It'll include things that, that they've noticed. When I'm on site, I like to address it immediately. I don't like to blindside, but at the same time, this being in the role as your agent, administering your edict, that's why I want the inspection report, and if there are any issues, I let the applicant know. Well, that's the forum. At that point, give me a call, right? Not necessarily addressing Beta. They don't have the authority, they really don't have the authority to condone anything. It is myself and you know, by proxy, or
Yep.
me by proxy
Well,
from you.
and also, if you think about it, I mean, they make recommendations to the commission. They don't necessarily make recommendations to the applicant directly.
Correct.
Like,
So.
That's not the process.
Correct. So I did let the applicant know. I did mention procedurally, and I invited them into chambers if they wanted. I don't believe they're happy with it, but that's okay. I let them, I suggested that, the site supervisor give the crew members his contact information so that if someone's on site and they're unable to answer, they can call him and he can call me directly or email me. But that is the reason. You don't, unjust or unfair, I could see that the applicant would think that way, but, right, you want it to be
So, I mean, this is,
normal site conditions to them.
right, so this is a place where education can be important, right, where we educate people about the actual process that we have, so that they understand it is unbiased, it's fair,
Mhm.
this is as far as we can make it, and there is a chance to, give input back to the entire commission, if there is a need, if they feel there's a need,
Mhm.
right? On their, if they feel, not just us, but they feel, it's not that we just accept everything, that's it, so there is a possibility to quote appeal observations that are in a report.
Mhm.
And that's just, that's, as long as that's true, then it's a fair process.
And that's what they said.
And that's what they say.
Yeah.
Good point. That's basically what they say.
And at the very least, I mean, this may be tongue in cheek, but their site should be tip-top, so they never have a bad inspection report.
So I have one question though, just to clarify this.
Mhm.
I understand that when they sign the form states, as you say, that there is access and that they are providing, they're accepting that these individuals have access. Does it specifically state that there is no requirement by said parties to notify? Does it actually say there is no requirement? I think it should. I think it should state in the form.
Is that a state form or a local one?
It's our local one,
Okay.
but I
Because
believe
then
there's language in the Wetlands Protection Act too.
I'm just saying, then there's no question. So you should have read it before you
Oh.
signed it. All right?
So
And
this-
if you did, then you see exactly here, there is no obligation on the part of any agent, commissioner of the town to basically let them know when a site visit, when an inspection will take place.
It states that it grants authority solely for the purposes, access, solely for purposes directly related to the inspections and approval of this application, and for follow-up compliance with
Can
permit
you put
conditions.
Unannounced inspection.
I can, yeah.
I mean, that's the easy way, just, so I mean, unannounced.
Do that.
You can't write that.
Yeah.
I mean, if it says
Spell
that
it out,
in that,
right?
if it's in the form, it's in the form, okay?
Hello.
It says right here, yeah, unannounced. You can't tell me you're like surprised by this, it's right here. That's what I'm trying to get, that's what I'm
Nope,
trying
I'm fine with that.
to shore up that loophole.
And then just real quick, without prejudice, letting you know, they wanted to start dewatering. I got a 48-hour notification to dewater at 11:11 a.m. on Wednesday. And then by around 2 p.m. on Wednesday, it turned into this past morning. And I said, nope, 48-hour notification. So they started testing their dewatering systems today, checking for leaky holes. And then I was asked at, again, 2 p.m. today, if they could dewater first thing in the morning. So I just said, fine, you can dewater at 45 hours, is what I put in my email. I told you, Mark. So I wanted to let you know, I did give them that leniency, because I figured, you know what? just do it then. That's fine. I will be out tomorrow, and Beta will be out tomorrow, so.
What is dewatering?
So exactly what it sounds like, but it's when you have to move water from one location to another because you're working in that area. So it could be, for example, like what they're doing today is water and sewer, so it's for utilities, but dewatering for the culvert installation is important. So they have a stream there, so they have to move that water so they can install the culvert and the footings, so they're not causing like turbidity or anything like that, and they can backfill the soils. So it's not just getting washed out. So it's like diversion. You can also take even turbid water. I'll explain it in an example, like with Eversource, with their big structures, a lot of those goes right into a wetland, right? And sometimes that wetland is, like the one that I worked in was more of a pond. It was 18 feet deep. When all was said and done, once you settled all the mats and stacked them up. So obviously you can't move all that water. So what you do is you contain it, and then you're drilling. So you're causing turbidity, you're causing all the sediment to get up, and you actually pump it out into a bag, a filter bag, and then it slowly dissipates. So it takes up the, so that's
maybe
another.
stuff in the Charles, that's what you
Yeah.
see them, maybe this big thing, there's a big like hole where, you know, the water is around.
Yeah,
and then basically-
exactly.
Right.
So there's a few different
Pilings,
ways that they're doing
put
it.
pilings in or something like
Yeah,
that. That makes
Louis
sense.
would know.
Yeah, that's right.
Just a
Some of the
bit.
bigger projects where they do like, you know, sheep house and stuff,
Yeah.
that's different.
Yeah.
They don't go extreme.
Yeah. So, then you need a 48-hour notification for that.
Okay.
So,
Is that a state requirement?
Yeah.
Yes, I thought so.
yep. So there's that, and then I guess I did have one other update. It is on town council's goals to go through filing fees for everybody. So I'm actually meeting with TA's office tomorrow, to go over our filing fees. I think some of them will stay the same, but there's a few that I acknowledged could be raised. Once that is sussed out, I'll come back and let you know. We will stay in the middle or in the median between surrounding towns and like towns. For example, Needham and Natick were on the reference list, and I understand we're in the same region. I don't think Franklin is quite yet a Needham or a Natick.
No,
Hopefully it won't be.
Right.
no. that's-
So,
I mean, even the native are totally in towns.
Yes, and
As much as Franklin wants to be even, they're not.
and the fees are a little rich. So there are just a few things I modified. I was gonna keep the minor buffer zone activity $50. I think that's relatively cheap for a resident, but including the stipulation that restoration projects are free. That's how the commission has been acting. So there's that. RDAs I kept at $100. COCs I kept at $50. I think the NOI base fee could go up. There's also a distinction between houses and commercial, which we already have, but I can't, there was another one on top of
What
that.
is the NOI fee right now?
Base fee is $600,
Okay.
but, and this is where everybody always misses to read, all applicants, but there are additional fees for every square foot impact of a resource area, which includes buffer zone. So for example,
Still bars?
not yet. That one they'll probably have to be reminded. The golf course, Maplegate,
Oh, yeah.
that theirs was expensive
Oh,
because they
yeah.
had a lot of buffer zone impacts. So that one I suggested to keep the same. I think it's $2 per linear feet. So it's not even square feet, it's linear feet. But where I suggested an increase was the stormwater infrastructure.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I figured that one, we have it at 20 or $10, like an outlet structure, and I included that up to 25.
Town's underfunded on that anyway, right?
Yeah. So, more details on that when I know, but that will come into effect January 1st. So, hopefully I get that tied up in the next month or so, and then I'll put it in my email signature, hey, just so everybody knows this is coming, and I'll put it on the webpage too. That's all.
Hey,
I have.
one other quick question. I think a couple meetings ago, we talked about having Beta review the local bylaws and regs. Is that underway or?
No, so I haven't reached out to them yet. I know Michael was going to, I guess, thank you for that reminder. I know Michael was going to create a spreadsheet too for you to start compiling information into. That has not happened yet, so if you would like me to just go with Beta, I can just do that. It's probably easier based on everybody's schedule, but it's also something for you to consider about cost. Additionally, if it's over a certain monetary amount, we might not get Beta, it might have to go out for RFP.
I think it'd be good to at least start with Beta, right? I mean, get some input from them, but yeah, see what,
I can do that. I can ask just for a scope from them, but if
Yeah.
that scope is over that 5 or 10 grand, then unfortunately, I have to go through Pam Vickery, our
okay.
procurement officer.
Good to know
so
though, right?
I think so. And also, that might be something too for you guys to bring up at the MAC conference. Start asking, sourcing, what other commissions have done or who's tabling there and if they offer services.
Yeah.
Because all the consultants go to the MAC conference too.
Yep.
Target rate environment.
We all want to play by the same rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, you used to always see them at the same table, at the same big table. They didn't have to notice that. But we used to have donuts coming out the Wazubi. And that was in the morning. You go downstairs and pop in your morning donut. That was always the thing to do. And they're all standing around this one end of this one table, all talking about all the crazy clients I've got. It's really fun, actually.
That is fun.
So you basically get your coffee just like really slowly, because you want to listen to
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Speaking to the mic. I do have one more question. With what you were talking about on Maple Hill, with the bike association put trails in there, would it be good to meet with them before they start making trails unbeknownst to anybody at Schmidt Farm? To say, you can't do it in wetland or anything like that?
So the thing with Schmidt's Farm, it hasn't been hayed yet. I know it's gearing up to be hayed, but it's fairly inaccessible. We're moving forward with Schmidt's Farm and we'll have public hearings later this fall/winter. So at that point, I think at that point we can start talking about it. But if anybody is paying attention to our meeting, we just shouldn't be making trails on town-owned property. It's just, even if you're the most well-intentioned, you just shouldn't do it because you don't know what you're cutting through. You don't know if there's
Yeah.
priority species, wetlands, things like that. So it's just always better to wait, especially then because you can start degrading the quality of the land and habitat.
Okay.
So what's the first step on that? Just looking at what the areas are and just kind of overlaying, well, for the bike, for those bike trails, seeing where they're at right now, then to start working.
Yeah.
Kind of like, okay, you got wetlands here, move it over here, kind of just, and then just start the discussion about.
That is our game plan for Maple Hill because we already have human behaviors involved at this point, right? It's much harder to change human behaviors than with Schmidt's, which has nothing. So
Take a clean slate.
exactly. Yep. So one of I think he's the NEMBA president, actually. He gave me their trail map. It's listed in an app. They named all the trails. So he gave me that trail map. I varied that off to Beta. So they're going out and doing a concept plan right at this point, there isn't going to be a subcommittee, as in like a town council subcommittee. It is utilizing all the information that we got from the open space plan last year, and then all the information we have from the master plan this year, drawing up that concept plan, and then we will approach town council and have public meetings, like a ice cream social, to pitch a handful of ideas or a handful of plans. So instead of receiving another survey, I think the town's very surveyed out, another slew of just comments. We're gonna take the comments that we have, because we have had a very engaged open space process and master plan process, and then pitch ideas. And then we'll get feedback on the ideas.
Good idea.
So with Maple Hill, I imagine a lot of the concept plans will take what we have already, since it's already established, degraded, what have you, and then improve upon that. And then yes, for the wetlands, either those trails are gonna have to be nixed, or we're gonna have to install a boardwalk, which I don't know if that's feasible with mountain biking anyways, so probably not.
It's too flat.
Yeah. So, we'll have to see. And I definitely think there is room in Maple Hill to have both versions of trails. They just all can't be, mountain biking trails, that's all. Unfortunately. So I'm trying to thread the needle between everybody. So, that's all I have.
Anything else? Okay, well, I will take a vote to close the meeting.
Motion to close.
Second.
Okay, close.
Vote to close.
Close.
Opposed?
Richard, not voting. Okay, thank you.
Nice tan, Richard. You look
Bye.
good.